champions of the 2011 NIT.
Shocker fans have a lot to be excited about tonight. The men's basketball team celebrates its first ever championship in postseason play. Final score, Wichita State 66, Alabama 57.
After a close game most of the way, the Shockers pulled away at the end. Bruce Hurdle begins our coverage tonight from Madison Square Garden in New York.
First, they had to prove to themselves that they belonged. Then they discovered that they were the better team. Finally, Wichita State able to impose their will and ultimately taste a sweet championship at Madison Square Garden in the finals of the NIT.
Man, I knew that we was going to win this game when Graham Hatch hit that second three. I think that took a lot of air out of them, and they just gave up after that. We worked too hard, man, and for us not to be in the big tournament, we were sad, but when we got in here, we just made a commitment that we were going to get to New York, and then we got here, made another commitment to end our season on a win. That's what we did.
I was telling Stutz, third time's a charm. I mean, we've been in this situation. This is our third time, and, we've been through it, and I felt very confident that we were going to have the composure to pull it out, and Alabama is such a great team. I mean, talk about athletic and tough, and they were all those things, and man, it's just unbelievable that we were able to come out.
The seniors, we wanted to end on a win, man, and we're going to do whatever it took to play together, make shots, to make that happen.
Baby! Not just cut down the net, but at Madison Square Garden, it feels great. And shout out to everybody at Wichita. Graham Hatch hit them threes, man. I told him, I said, gee, you got to let it ride, man. And he let him ride, and I'm happy, man.
It was almost meant to be, man. I've never had my shot feel that good before, and I thank the Lord and just my teammates, coaches, giving me this opportunity. It's just unbelievable.
It was tough, I feel so much emotion towards my teammates and coaches and our fans, it's just everything, man. It's just a lot to take in.
The celebration is just getting going, and believe me, it's going to go on all night. Shocker Nation has reason to celebrate. 29-8 and an NIT championship. Much more on this game coming up a little bit later on in sports, and of course continually on KWCH.com.
Shocker fans who stayed in Wichita found a lot of places to watch the game.
Some stayed home, some crowded into area bars, and some went back to the Shockers' home court. Eyewitness News reporter Rebecca Gannon joined them in our continuing coverage.
We're hanging in there, and that's all that counts.
The Shockers didn't make Thursday night easy on their fans, but in the end,
they're ours. They're our Shockers.
The Shockers made it count. For every cheer this crowd made, it seemed to have almost as many groans. And fans sat rapt, watching each pass, shots, and the occasional missed shot that ended with a Shocker victory.
So excited to be up there, and I think that bleeds over into the fans, and we feel that same excitement that they do.
On campus, people came to the Roundhouse to see the Shockers play.
Oh, there's nothing like Coke Arena. Everyone says that.
Projected onto a screen above the home court.
Be with all the fans and friends, so you can all come to my house.
And the 9-point victory.
It's New Year's all over, no celebration.
Has Shockers celebrating their first NIT championship.
The greatest team and the greatest coach.
And a great night to be a Shocker. In Wichita, Rebecca Gannon, KWCH 12, Eyewitness News.
What a great night it is for Wichita and Kansas. New York, though, truly is Woo York tonight after the Shockers' victory in the NIT Men's Championship game. Let's get to Mike Kirkhoff. He's live in the newsroom with more on how the Shocks did it. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Susan, after a 30-point win in the semifinals, Wichita had a much tougher battle tonight against Alabama in the finals. It was nip and tuck throughout the first half. Wichita State led by just 3 at halftime. The Crimson Tide closed the gap in the second half, but WSU responded with an unrelenting attack from 3. First, David Kiles breaks the tie with a 3-pointer, then Graham Hatch expands the lead with a long one. About a minute later, Hatch hits again, and Wichita State wins the title 66-57. Graham Hatch is the tournament's most outstanding player. What a night for WSU and their fans. I'll have much, much more from Woo York later on in sports.
All right, thanks a lot. WSU planning to celebrate the Shockers NIT Championship win tomorrow, by the way. The event will be at Coke Arena starting at 5 tomorrow evening. It is open to the public. Be there with your gold on. Meantime, as you can imagine, there's lots of celebrating going on in New York tonight. KAKE's Jeff Herndon has more from New York City.
Hey guys, here in Madison Square Garden, where just a few moments ago the Wichita State Shockers won the NIT championship, defeating Alabama. The scene on the court following the game, something to behold. A lot of emotion. You could tell this team had been on a roller coaster ride since the end of the Missouri Valley Conference tournament when they lost to Indiana State, culminating into this, a 5-game run and now an NIT championship. Cutting down the nets, the hugs, the embrace, the trophies, the emotion, really something to see. The guys extremely overwhelmed to be NIT champions.
Man, this win feels great, man. You know, to win in Madison Square Garden and finally win a championship and bring it home to Wichita. Feels great. Man, one of a kind. I mean, I can't really explain how they felt. I'm happy for everybody, the fans, people back home who wanted to be here but couldn't, people in Dallas, Texas, everybody who watched the game, and everybody we do it for on the daily.
We had a goal before we came to this tournament. We talked about this earlier, that we were going to end on a win, you know, man, we were focused the whole time, and I'm just so proud of our team, the way we've handled it.
Fan support, rock solid. A lot of folks from Wichita here, over 1,000 in my estimation in the stands, and I got to tell you, they were louder than those Alabama fans, boy, and it showed in the end as the Shockers win the NIT championship. Following the Shockers in New York City, Jeff Herndon, Cake News.
All right, of course, the majority of Shocker fans couldn't make it to New York. In fact, most of them celebrating tonight's NIT win right here in Wichita tonight. Cake's Lily Wu live in East Wichita with more on just one of the many, many Shocker parties tonight. Hey, Lily.
That's right, Susan. This place was packed full of Shocker fans, alumni, and very dedicated friends and family. You can see right behind me that many people are still out here celebrating the big win over the championship of NIT. 3-pointers, turnarounds. These Shocker fans rowdy after winning the first NIT championship.
How excited everybody was, doing the chants, doing everything. If we had more room, we would have done the wave. It was a wonderful night.
Lots of black and gold and plenty of Shocker spirit reigning over the official WSU alumni watch party. Shocker fans excited for the NIT championship game.
It's the first time in our school's history that we've ever been to a national championship. And in my mind, the NIT is just as good as the NCAA tournament.
Fans kept feeling the spirit of March Madness, even though the Shox didn't make it into the NCAA.
We weren't in the top 25 when the season ended. Now we're going to see where we are, see what we deserve.
Hundreds of fans packed the house tonight, cheering on the Shox as if they were courtside in Madison Square Garden.
Everybody in this room would love to be in New York, just enjoying the moment with the boys. But I mean, if you can't be there, you got to be here with all your true fans. So it's been fun.
Shocker fans continuing the celebrations with plenty of cheers and chanting. Now these fans will wait and see when the Shockers come home tomorrow. Many tell me that they're going to be at the airport cheering on the Shockers and welcoming them back home. We're live here in East Wichita. Lily Wu, Cake News.
KWCH 12 Eyewitness Sports.
The last time a Valley team won the NIT was back in 1982 when the Bradley Braves came out on top. Wichita State up against Alabama in the championship game tonight. The Shockers looking for the school's first ever basketball postseason title. Wichita State 2-point favorites going into the game against the top-seeded Crimson Tide SHOX. Showing you how to break the press early on, Graham Hatch, the beauty of a lob up to Gabe Blair. SHOX tied at 2. SHOX down 1. They work it over to Aaron Ellis. Ellis owning the elbow tonight, a perfect 4 of 4 from the field. Wichita State down by 1 again in the first, but not for long. Another guy who was a perfect 4 for 4, Graham Hatch from the baseline. He is pure, and Wichita State takes the slim lead. Shockers doing a great job driving inside and drawing fouls. Tied at 25 to Ray Murray. Breaking it up, gets the block and 1. You know he's going to count it. Shox go up by 3, and they're trying to put a quick little run together, working it around the arc to JT Durley, top of the key. He connects from long range. Shockers up by 3 at the half. Into the second now. The 3 ball is where the Shockers find their groove. Murray here and then Graham Hatch would hit back-to-back trays after JT Durley sat down with his 4th foul around the 6-minute mark. Hatch's threes gave the Shox a 12-point lead. Hatch, like I said, a perfect 4 of 4. All of his shots coming from beyond the arc. Beautiful shot here. And Joe Ragland's drive near the end was just some icing on the cake. Wichita State wins its first ever basketball postseason title. 66-57 is the final over Bama. Eyewitness Sports Director Bruce Hurdle has the reaction from New York City.
Not only do the Shox belong, but they were the better team.
I mean, number one rule coming out of the locker room, we couldn't be intimidated by their athleticism and their size. And I think they said a couple of cocky things to our coaching staff, things like that. And they didn't look like they were worried about us at all. But I think we taught them a nice lesson tonight.
Wichita State kept taking the Tide's best punch and gave back a lot better than they got.
I was excited. You know, the seniors, we wanted to end on a win, man, and we're going to do whatever it took to play together, make shots, you know, to make that happen.
Baby! There were great plays all over the floor and up and down the roster. Gabe Blair here early. Teray Murray in the open court. And Garrett Stutz doing, well, what Garrett Stutz has done a lot of lately. Aaron Ellis hitting all 4 of his shots, but the biggest plays went to the club's senior citizen. Back-to-back triples to double a 6-point lead with 3 minutes to go. That's when they knew.
Graham Hatch hit that second 3. I think that took a lot of air out of them, and they just gave up after that. When Graham Hatch hit them 3s, man, I told him, I said, gee, you got to let it ride, man. And he let him ride, and I'm happy, man.
It's meant to be, man. I've never had my shot feel that good before, and I thank the Lord and just my teammates, coaches, giving me this opportunity. It's just unbelievable. That's the most important thing, is I was able to be there for my team when they need me. More than anything, that's what I want to do, is be there for my team when they need me, and I'm just so thankful that I was able to do that.
Those 2 flips earned Hatch the Player of the Tournament honors and delivered a championship to a team reborn and a city thirsting for redemption.
Not just cut down the net, but at Madison Square Garden, you know, it feels great. And shout out to everybody at Wichita. Once in a lifetime, man, and one of a kind at the same time, man. I'm speechless.
I mean, no better place to do it, you know. And like I said, it's just fate, you know. It's just meant to be, I feel, and it's great.
It's amazing, man. And you know, Coach said, you know, he brought us here to cut down nets, and that's what we did.
Turns out it's not how you start, but how you finish. 5 straight wins to get to a school record 29 on the season. A championship on one of the most hallowed stages in all of sports. And for tonight, at least, it's hard to imagine that anything else really matters. With the NIT champions at Madison Square Garden in New York City, Bruce Hurdle, Eyewitness Sports.
Wichita State was no doubt disappointed not to make the NCAA, but man, they sure made the most of the NIT, beating Nebraska by 27, Virginia Tech in overtime, College of Charleston by 7 at home to get to the Final Four, then destroying Washington State in the semifinals to earn a spot in the title game tonight against Alabama. Shockers actually the favorites in this one, and why not? First bucket of the game, Wichita State in transition, Graham Hatch with the oop to Gabe Blair for the dunk. The Tide rolling right back though. Tony Mitchell driving hard for a wicked one-handed slam. Bama back in front. Later in the half, Shox down 1. Joe Ragland to Hatch for 3. He got it. Wichita State on top. Still in the first, Ben Smith finds Garrett Stutz all alone underneath for a jam. Shox led 3 at the break. Second half, tied at 43. David Kiles coming off a screen for 3. He's money. Shox up 6 a bit later. Graham Hatch making it 9 from the top of the key. Then a minute later, he's going to make it 12. And from there, Wichita State closes out Alabama for a 66-57 win. And the Shockers celebrate the first NIT championship in school history. Their school record 29th win, and are one of the few teams in college basketball that can say they won their last game. Garrett Stutz was named to the all-tournament team, and Graham Hatch is the tournament's most outstanding player, scoring 12 points tonight, going 4 for 4 from long range. Jeff Herndon has more on the Shockers seniors' big final game.
Hey Mike, big win for the Shockers tonight, you're right. And Graham Hatch, the senior, what a performance, saving the best for last. Talk about some big time shots. Those back-to-back threes late in the second half, sparking Wichita State to the victory over Alabama tonight. Hatch, the senior, going out on top with the rest of the Shox as the most valuable player of the NIT.
You know, I can't, you know, I couldn't even imagine it going out like this, and I'm so thankful that it did and that we just won. It's great.
Man, I talked to him before the game. I told him, I was like, gee, you gotta let it ride today, man. And he let it ride, and I'm glad he did, man. Them big threes, every last one of them, and I'm proud of him, man. He worked so hard, and people don't know how hard he worked.
It couldn't happen to a finer individual to make those big shots. Those were huge shots. They were backbreakers.
So for 5 seniors, it caps off a tremendous run as Wichita State Shockers, ending with 29 wins. Of course, that is a school record and an NIT championship. Following the Shockers in New York City, Jeff Herndon, K-Sports.